I have seen a lot of mistakes that could be prevented, and hopefully, by sharing this, it'll save you from a lot of heartache. Please know how much you can borrow. That means not just getting pre qualified, which is just giving your information for the mortgage application, but it's also submitting your documents so it can be verified. Please make sure you're as accurate as possible on your application. That means if you think you've been at your job for 2 years, verify that, because we do need a 2-year history. And sometimes being in one location for less than the specified time can have dramatic effects on your approval. So I had someone with a lower credit score who had several jobs in the past 2 years, and a history of collections. That's big because the approval system doesn't just look at your credit score, it looks at your credit history. So having a number of collections in the recent past, as well as a lower credit score, and she was an approval. However, when we verified how long she was with her job, she was there just a little short of 2 years. She was no longer approved. The approval system saw her as a little more risky, and she was now a refer. So, in order to turn her into an approval again, we needed to show that she had a little more down payment or her payment was going to be less. Fortunately, the seller was able to give her a credit to buy down her interest rate to significantly lower her payment so that she was now able to purchase again without needing extra funds. Full-time hours can be 40, 35, 37 and a half. It could alternate from week to week. It could even be 32. It's whatever your employer considers full-time. However, when someone tells me I work 40 hours and then I see that their pay stubs reflect 35, that can make a huge difference in the amount of housing you can afford. So it's really important that you know how much you make before taxes, how many hours you average, and your type of income, and provide all the documents, because you could honestly just make a mistake and it could affect a lot of things unless you provide the documentation to your loan officer for them to verify everything. So pre-approval should be a little painful because it just makes the mortgage process much easier, as because we collected everything up front. We dotted all our I's, crossed our T's. So the next big mistake I see is not knowing your payment, principal and interest. Okay, so there's also taxes. So if you're living in an area or want to live in an area with high taxes, that's going to take up a much bigger portion of your approved payment if you're living in an area a little cheaper. So in New Jersey, you could have taxes that are $5,000, and you can have taxes that are $10,000, literally just a block over in a different town. That difference in taxes is taking up approximately $50,000 of house that you could be purchasing. Also know how much HOA, which are homeowners association fees, can affect your buying. But these fees, condos and HOA fees that you pay in addition to the mortgage, keep that in mind. If you are approved for a $1,000 payment, if you're subtracting $800 from that, that's not leaving you much for the actual house. That's leaving you $1,200 for insurance and for taxes, and then for the house itself. So you may only be buying a $125,000 house after an $800 monthly HOA or condo fee. Online estimators always show a low monthly payment. It's kind of like a bait and switch. But if you read, it's with a 20% down. And honestly, most people are putting 20% down. If you're selling a house and buying another one and you have that equity from selling that house, yes, you may be putting 20% down. But most buyers today are not putting 20% down. So that payment looks so great for a $300,000 house, but the reality is it's much higher for you because you're putting less money down. Last but not least, please talk to your loan officer while you're going through the process. Don't just say, I'm pre-approved, one and done, because the worst is for me to look at your bank statement and see a transfer for an account that I didn't know was there, or for you to start a new job without you recalculating how that affects your affordability. We are looking to make sure you have the smoothest transaction possible so that you can focus on buying the house, moving, doing everything that goes with purchasing your home and not have to worry about the mortgage process. That's why I'm a mortgage coach. I want to make sure that I coach you on the best actions to put you in the best situation so that you're able to have a smooth process. Hopefully, it'll help you avoid some mistakes. And then if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to run scenarios or just to help avoid any potential nightmares.